I'm reading this book at the moment. It's by 11963. I believe it has a local connection. I haven't got that far yet. I've only got he's in Artane, but a most interesting book, and it was had a terrible time in Artane. I knew a fellow was in Artane actually, but he was very well looked after when he came out of it. But this boy had a bad time in it. But it happens to have a local connection, so that's why I'm reading it. It's lovely here in the library. You can get anything you want. They have a great job done on it, and it's lovely to come over anytime you want to. And that's about the height of it. I'm not a great reader. I read a certain amount. I like history. I read a lot of history. And I said, well, I admire the way they keep the place here too, and there's some fantastic photographs here. And see the instrument now, throwing instruments as well. You can hire an instrument here if anyone wants to play. So it's a fantastic setup to have it. So I want to see if we can read a bit. The search actually is John jolted away, lifted his face from the cold stone wall, and unfurled himself from a tight ball. The light had almost gone, and he was still lying in the laneway in the French's house. Miss French leaned over him, peering anxiously onto his tear-streaked face. "Oh, John," she cried, "whatever happened to you? I came down here looking for you on one of the sun is blinding me here. Looking for one of them. You could have been out here all night." She helped him. She helped him to his feet and steered him towards the house. Registering his bloodshot eyes, she said no more until John was sitting at the kitchen table and she had the kettle boiling on the range. The turmoil of emotions John had experienced earlier had taken its toll. His will to live was sapped, but so too was his energy to do anything about it. He sat despondent, barely registering Miss French's presence, until her slender hands reached across the table for his. "Right, John, tell me the worst, what happened?" He could see his reflection in her light blue eyes, and she seemed almost to hold her breath. That was when his face crumpled and the tears flowed again. He could hardly utter the words. "They've thrown me out," he sobbed. "Aunt Bridie threw me out. I'm homeless." "They've thrown you out of the cottage," she nodded. So just to explain that passage, he was in a boarded out house, and he called him his aunt. Wasn't his aunt at all, but she did throw him out, so that's the position he was in. This is John, they call him John. He was in Artane, and now he's going around on people who are boarded out, as they called them at the time.